I figure anybody that's watching what I have to say pretty much gets it, that they understand or acknowledge that the artificial deadlight alien machinery, which is machine code, targets your inner child, right? The inner cells, the inner us, the inner you, your inner cellular record, right? The shadow body anatomy. So I'll give you an example because I just experienced this. And I mentioned this before when I got a signal a little over a year ago to just get rid of the phone, just get offline. Okay? Because what happens is just like when I was a child, if I freely express what I feel from what I've learned, what I know from what I learned, it wants to get a reversal spin reaction, which is the inner child reaction to experience what's held in cellular memory that hasn't been cleared back to zero. So you're experiencing pure, absolute, eternal love in your own heart and soul because you've zeroed out both your clocks to experience zero. The first whirlpool, the first turn, the first spin of a key. Turn the key on. L space, 4 L's. Yeah, the cross, the double diamond. So, for example, if I post something that's up there, right, it's just information. I have no idea that when other living cellular consciousness beings experience, thus translate what the fire letters mean as they translate it, what their reaction state is going to be. The nuclear reaction, the nuclear cellular coded reaction is going to be within them what they experience by virtue of what I've experienced from what I've learned that I share with others. So it feeds when those of us that are communicating back and forth, thousands and millions of people that are all on phones, on laptops, right? If you're worried about, oh, what is it? What are they going to say by virtue of what I communicated from what I learned? What if they don't agree with that and they slap me back or say something like that? That's the little child. That's the inner child. That's why I work with children. Okay, before all that program has been programmed, right? Because that programming is machine. That's machine code, alien, finite light intelligence coded in the cell using digits. The zeros and ones, on and off, on and off, on and off. Activate the switch, turn the switch on. Activate the switch, 0, 1. That means it's only got two options. It's either on or it's off. Isn't there another option called 3? Seems to me, if I'm 3 and 3, right, triple solar feminine, triple solar masculine, join as 1, man, I'm not afraid of nothing. I'm experiencing eternal, pure, absolute love on fire. Now you see where they have the gender splitting technology. Split you in half. Split your heart in half. So you're not experiencing being one. Instead, you're experiencing learning through a machine, which is the lowest form of intelligence because it's going in the other direction, because it's artificial finite light. So we're now learning through eternal sound and light joined as one, which is the first signal, which is the first field, which is a single point of unity. That's the truth of it. So when I put something up, right, I just put it up. This is what I've learned by what I share. What you choose to do with it, I have no idea. Right? But what if somebody comes back and says something negative or tries to pull you into an argument? You know what an argument is between computers. Well, I don't agree with that. Or I have a different opinion. Hey, you're entitled to have a different opinion, but it's all about the nuclear reaction state between non-reactive and reactive, non-polarized, polarized, particularly when the shadow body anatomy, network interface between cells, between alien machinery, crystal, living crystals, eternal, living, Christic consciousness, liquid silver, liquid gold, joined as one, mononuclear. Transmute it, burn it off. Remember when I was a child, anything less than what I am. What am I? I am what love is. Neutral ground, neutral gender. Two magnets become one. That's right. That's how simple it is. It's called full integration to experience being one. Now we're on a yun, a un, unsa, unsa, un I, one I, one I, one I. Yeah, one I. I am what love is. I am divine, divine love, absolute love that's on fire. And that's our purity, which is purifying ourselves, which are the spirits in our crystal cells. We're purifying ourselves with the founder's Christo spiral, Christo Sophia, Gaia Sophia ascending, Earth synced with the core blast furnace. Yeah. So I thought I'd share that because I caught myself on that when I was going to put something up, and then I saw somebody put something else up, and then I thought, well, I reacted to that, and how do I react to it? Come see, come saw. You ever heard of that? Come see, come saw. Okay, and then and actually, when I saw the information, I realized that I seem to remember that a lot of that information was already in the field, and we already had access to it. So this actually plays back to something I mentioned with about Patty Broussard. Did Patty Broussard know a couple weeks ago when she was in a Motel 6 and she was running short on funds and she was soliciting or, putting it out there, hey, I need some help here, right? And so I sent her some money. Remember that? Okay. Now, how did I know a number of months ago that it was going to be left in there, which means, remember, the money never got spent. It's still sitting there. How did I know in the past, what you call future memories, that she was going to ask for that money or solicit donations, and that it was going to be there for me to be able to just transfer it to her? Did she know that she was going to be in that Motel 6 written into her contract? Did she already know 50 years ago that she was going to be in a Motel 6 and I was going to send her that money, and she already knew that because it was written into her agreement, which means it was written into her contract, which means it was written into her cells, what they call future memories? Coming from the future, going from the future back to the past to make sure we have a future. Whoa. Which means we're already in that future. That's how we know our past, because we wrote it already. Wow. So we wrote our own timeline a gazillion years ago in order to make sure that during the last dance, we survived the last dance because we wrote our own ticket. It's called a ticket home, which is home base. Home base goddess flower shield. That means you already know your future because you wrote it yourself, because you agreed to it, because you honor your contracts with the one, with the founders. That's called right on schedule. Have a beautiful afternoon. We love you. We love you all with baby blue eyes.